right, Ray, you ready? All right, guys, so I wanted to add one more video into the mix, and this one is going to be all about teaching your dog how to middle. Good boy. And I love middle because this position is a great place for your dog to go when things get really busy. So think of like small space behaviors. Let's say you're in an elevator for some reason with your dog. You're in a tight stairwell, you're at the vet clinic. You're somewhere where if your dog is in front of you, they're still taking up more space than there might be available. So you want them in a place where they're close to your body and you can manage their behavior a little bit easier around distractions. And the biggest thing is you can manage other distractions getting into your dog's space. So if you have a dog who's young and rambunctious, like this one, or if you have a senior dog like Maggie who might be a little nervous about having, sorry, distraction, having other dogs get in her space, middle is a fantastic skill to work on because again, when your dog is parked in middle, they're gonna be right between your legs. Nobody should be allowing them, other people in their group or other dogs to get into that personal space. That's too much into your personal bubble. So middle is really, really great because again, you'll be able to keep charge of everything that might be getting into your dog's face. So great for small spaces and also really great for a safety thing. You know, I have some students whose dogs can be a little nervous sometimes and they've actually learned that middle is a safe place to be. So when their dogs get stressed, they actually will go into middle position on their own. So I want your dog to know that you are their safety, that you've got their back. Radar. Radar's gonna go get a tennis ball. Good boy. Note to self, pick up all tennis balls before you try to do any training. I'm gonna put this one away. So with middle guys, I've named it Clownfish, and I named it Clownfish because another trainer that I follow on Facebook and Instagram, she uses the term clownfish with her dogs, and I think she has Rhodesian Ridgebacks. And think of clownfish for a moment. Clownfish are the little fish who live in sea anemones, and they live in sea anemones because anemones keep them safe. I want to be Radar's anemone, basically. I can hardly say anemone. I don't know if I can spell it, but that's what I want to be. So he's a clownfish, and I'm his anemone. I want to always be his safe place. So how the heck are we going to start teaching this? So I'll show you the finished product first if Radar wants to be cooperative. He's kind of tired right now. And then we'll work it in baby steps. So Radar, clownfish. That's clownfish, guys. A lot of you have seen Radar in this position before, but again, this is what the finished product's gonna be. And for this time, he went around behind me and came in from behind between my feet. Sometimes he'll go in from the front, spin around and come back. Maggie will back into position. So every dog is so different. Here, Ray, good boy. I know there's traffic. So if you look at where he is right now, he's right between my legs. So I have complete safety control over his entire front part of his body. And that way, if another loose dog is coming up or if a kid is running over to say hello, he's very friendly, but I don't want him to have to deal with having other strangers charging into his space. Nobody should be getting this close to my personal bubble. That's a little too close. So this is a great safety thing. Also, if you look at this, he's not taking up as much space. So this way, I can make sure that, okay, go ahead, you're free. If we're in a tight space, he's closer to me. The other thing too is, guys, you know, a lot of times when I'm hiking with my dogs and I see a loose dog coming or somebody walking up with their dog, I'll have my dog sit in front of me or I'll have my back to the approaching person. But again, look at how much space is between me and Radar. That loose dog can run right up into his space. It can get right behind him. There's too much that can go wrong here while the other person is trying to catch their dog. So middle position can really alleviate that because your dog is right between your feet. All right, so how are we gonna work on this? So there's a couple different ways you can work on that. If your dog has a pretty decent stay, you can start with that. So Ray, over here. Okay, Radar, sit. Wait. I'm gonna have Radar sit and stay or wait. I'm gonna turn my back on him and call him between my legs. Radar. Yes, and I use a hand target or a food lure. And I'm gonna reward him for position. I'm not naming it right now. I'm simply gonna reward him for getting into the position. Now, here's the thing to remember, guys. Some dogs are really nervous about going between people's feet. I mean, think of it from their point of view. We only have 2 legs versus their 4, and we're definitely much more uncoordinated than they are. So we have to help them. So again, reward for position first, break it into baby steps if you have to, and move at your dog's pace. Good boy, okay, we'll get that one. So the other way you can do this, if your dog is in front of you, use a food lure in the early stages. It's okay to use a food lure between your fingers the first few times. Get rid of the lure as quick as you can though, or else you're gonna have it as a crutch and your dog is gonna have a hard time responding to you. Thank you for kissing Tech. Look, Tech's back again. Thank you, Techie. Responding to you whether, if you don't have food between your fingers. So food lure and hand target can be a great way. So I have a treat between my fingers. I'm gonna lure him around and yes, good job. So it's kind of some weird acrobatic move in the early stages. Again, push, good boy. Hi, okay, go get that one. So again, treat between the fingers. Ready? And yes, good boy. You can use both hands too. If you want to do a hand target, that works also. This is another good step. Ready? Push and push. Yes, good boy. Basically just have them follow your hand. Now, when they're reliably doing this, guys, you can start to name it, okay? So what I'm gonna do is Radar, Clownfish. Yes, good boy. And once they're comfortable with the position, what I want you to do, and don't be in a rush to get to this level, I want you to eventually cue a sit or a down. So any dog, it doesn't matter how big the dog is, you can work on this with any size dog, guys. I'm not a very tall person. Radar's got long legs, so he defaults into a down usually. So I'm gonna put him over there. Did you find it, Ray? One problem with doing training outside is the treats go rogue. Good job. Radar, Clownfish. Down. Yes, good boy. Wait. So this is what the finished middle, also known as clownfish, looks like for Radar. And yes, I'm on a slant right now. I'm not standing funny. It's just my yard is a hill. Some dogs are more comfortable in a sit, and that's okay. But Radar always defaults to a down. So I'm just going to reward him for position. So again, baby steps. Use your food lure and lure them around behind you. Use a hand target and have them follow that around behind you. And the other thing is, you can also do that stay. Here you go, Tech. And here you go, Ray. Use that stay, step or two ahead of them and call them between your legs from that way. That's also a version of peekaboo, which was Oliver's favorite trick. When Oliver would stand behind me, I'd say, "Where's Oliver?" And he'd pop his head between my knees and he'd say, "There I am." I say, "Peekaboo." So you can use this trick for so many different things. Now, if you want to take it up another level, you can start to add some movement into your middle. Radar, go get it. There you go, right there. Did you find it? Use that nose. Okay. So it's similar to tactical healing. Radar, clownfish. There's your clownfish. Good boy. Forward, back. Yes, good boy. Forward, back, right, left, back, right, 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 back, forward, back, and left, 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 back. Good boy, that was very good. It's much harder to do outside when you're worried about falling down a hill or stepping in a chipmunk hole. But with Radar, I'm really working on him learning that even without my hand signals and treats in my hands eventually, I'll say forward and he moves forward with me. I say back, he moves back. I say right, I say left. And it's a lot of fun because, again, it gives you something else to do with your dog. Also, I like adding the movement into this because let's say, Radar, clownfish. Yes. Let's say for a moment that I'm in a pet store or the vet clinic and a dog is getting ready to get into Radar's face. He's in middle position. The dog is coming from this angle, straight at him. I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna say, oh yeah, we're not gonna deal with that. Radar, right? Yes, good boy. If the dog comes around to the other side, Radar, left? Yes, good boy. If it comes around this side, ready? And back, back, and left, left, back. Okay, come through. Good boy. He's like, why are we doing this on a hill? Left. Good boy. So you can use your body language and you can teach the middle and movement to get it so that other dogs cannot actually get into his space. Same works for people, guys. You know, again, humans have a hard time listening to us when we say, please do not pet my dog. So if that's the case and there's somebody being really rude, just turn your back. If they're coming straight at me, you know what? Stay back. My dog's in training. Ready? Radar. Yes. And then my back is facing them. And they should get the picture then. Ready? And back So this is such a useful trick. I love it. It's great for nervous dogs. It's great for any dog. So that's your middle, also known as clownfish trick. All right, you ready? Free, good job. Hi, Tech Tech. Ready? You want to go make your grand debut? And this, guys, this is Tech. And Tech thinks he's a dog, and he is probably about 12 years old, and he's got those big feet, and he's Radar's best friend. So Tech also he hears the clicker, he hears the treats, he wakes up from a sound sleep, and he wants to participate. So I think these videos are going to be all about Find Tech. Good job, Tech Tech. Radar chin? Yes, good job. All right. Take care, guys. Have a wonderful time working with your dog.